Hi, my name is Maya Campuzano, and I, along with the rest of my group mates, will be presenting information on the leopard shark and its ecosystem. The leopard shark, or Triachus semifasciata, is a species of hound shark that can be found in the Pacific coast of North America, and it was also recorded that a high population was found in San Diego. Relative to the name, this shark has leopard-like spots that cover the dorsal side of its body, and the leopard shark has an elongated body with a broad, short snout, as seen in the photo. Along its back, this shark has two dorsal fins, and one is on its tail and one is in the middle of its back. And on its ventral side, there are two fins on each side of the shark, and one is on the bottom of its tail, as seen on the diagram on the top right. And the name comes from a Greek word, triachus, which means three-pointed, and this refers to the shark's three-pointed teeth, as also seen in the photo next to the map. So, its habitat. The leopard shark's habitats are mostly sandy and muddy bays near the bottom of the ocean, and they spend most of their time near the ocean floor, and they have adapted to this. This is because they lack a swim bladder, unlike the other fish, in which this helps, their buoyancy when they're swimming. So it helps for the shark, the leopard shark, to be closer to the ocean floor. And the type of ecosystem is an estuary ecosystem. And again, they just stay in shallow waters mostly, and they like to stay near the seafloor. And they will also occasionally swim through kelp forests. And since they're close to the seafloor, they tend to hunt and get food from cracks and crevices, and they feed on things such as like crabs, shrimp, clams, and just crustaceans essentially, and small fish. They hunt during the nighttime and search in small cracks again and crevices for crustaceans, and then this is because since their jaw is very small, it's very much, fitted to hunt for small food that is hidden in small places, so it's easier to get. So, the leopard shark, it's mostly nocturnal, but it is active during the day, but not as much. That's why it mostly likes to stay near the ocean floor during the day, but at night is when they hunt the most. And they rise to the upper water column to hunt. And then rather again in the day where they're more tired and slow, they stay near the bottom of the ocean floor. And the leopard shark hunts its prey by using electromagnetic receptors near their mouths to detect electromagnetic waves produced by living, moving organisms. This is why they mostly stay close to the ocean floor to be able to detect their prey. So like shown in the picture to the right, and then also at the bottom right. And for defense, the leopard shark protects itself by using its spotted epidermis as camouflage. And of course, it could also use brute force to slam into other organisms whenever it feels threatened, and can leave fatal wounds from bites if necessary. So for reproduction, the female leopard shark hatches her eggs internally after 10 to 12 months, and she can give birth to about a few dozen to 33 pups. And those pups start at about 8 to 9 inches long, and then they can grow to potentially be about 7 feet long or greater. And as of right now, the leopard shark is not threatened and is of least concern on the red list status. And then for life expectancy, we can expect them to last for about 30 years or possibly more. And then for people usage, unless you have a very particular appetite, there's not much use for them.
My name is Erica De La Hair, and I'm doing the part of leopard shark ecosystem. So a leopard shark is usually found in an estuary, which is a place where a river or a stream opens into the sea. It is partially enclosed coastal area of brackish water with one or more rivers or streams flowing into it, and with a free connection to the open sea. Also, leopard sharks can also be found in kelp forests, which kelp are large brown algae that live in cool, relatively shallow waters close to the shore. They grow in dense groupings, much like a forest on land, and they are found predominantly along the coastal Pacific coast. The leopard shark lives in shallow waters of bays and estuaries and occasionally patrols the kelp forest, usually staying near the bottom. It is rarely found in water more than 65 feet deep. The shark is most commonly encountered in 20 feet of water or less. World distribution map. So, leopard sharks have a relatively narrow range, found in the eastern Pacific Ocean from Oregon to the coast to the Gulf of California and Mexico. So, relatively narrow range kind of means that it's a short amount of space. So that's why if you see here the where the blue is highlighted and the arrow is pointing, that's their range. And as you can see, it's very small and it's very narrow. So they don't really range a lot just because of, as I said before, they like to be in estuaries, which is not found everywhere, and also kelp forests. They enjoy the warm, shallow, protected water that the eastern Pacific Ocean provides. So there are many biotic factors that are found in estuaries and kelp forests. The main and most popular animals and plants that are found include slipper lampet, which is the first one, blue crabs, zooplankton, clownfish, sea anemones, pickleweeds, and marsh grasses. And some abiotic factors of the system include light, oxygen, salinity, and temperature. So the ecological relationships that include the leopard shark. The first one is commensalism. So commensalism is a relationship where one organism benefits while the other is unaffected. So by attaching itself to a leopard shark, a remora is carried along on the shark's power. This allows the remora to travel to different areas without having to expand its own energy to swim. The shark is completely unaffected by the remora's presence. That's why it's commensalism. So, in a mutualistic relationship, both organism benefits. So these sharks are only social with each other. They are also known to interact and cooperate with other sharks. Scientists have seen groups of leopard sharks, dogfish, and smoothhound sweep together through an area of to flush out food. This shows that these sharks, including the leopard shark, help each other get food to stay healthy. So this is how they benefit one another. They both hunt in packs, as you can say, in order to get food for all of them. And then parasitism, sorry, I always say it wrong. In a parasitic relationship, one organism benefits while the other is harmed. The parasite called Manamesis adavitus, sorry, Miss Rodriguez, enters through the nostrils and then slowly eats away at the shark's brain, leaving the animal so disoriented it beaches itself and dies. So beaches when it flips over. Some experts are loosely attributing the events to an increasingly high accumulation of water pollutions, either leading to immune system compromise or exposure to high fungal loads, which they believe is why it's causing this parasite to enter the leopard shark's nostrils and then eat away at its brain.
This is a food web containing the leopard shark. One food chain within this food web is beginning with the primary producer, phytoplankton, which is consumed by zooplankton, which is consumed by a fish, which is consumed by a squid, which is consumed by crab, which is consumed by a leopard shark, which is consumed by broad-nosed seven-gill shark, which is consumed by great white shark, which is consumed by the killer whale. Another food chain within this food web begins with the primary producer, algae, which is consumed by shrimp, which is consumed by the leopard shark, which is consumed by broad-nosed seven-gill shark, which is consumed by a great white shark, which is consumed by a killer whale. A third food chain within this food web begins with the primary producer, phytoplankton, which is consumed by zooplankton, which is consumed by a clam, which is then consumed by the leopard shark, which is consumed by the broad-nosed seven-gill shark, which is consumed by the great white shark, which is consumed by a killer whale. Our enclosure is the Monterey Bay Aquarium, and it is located at Monterey, California. Biotic factors found in this enclosure include seven-gill sharks, leopard sharks, spiny dogfish, Pacific angel sharks, big skates, bat rays, sturgeons, rockfish, giant sea bass, and flatfish. Abiotic factors found in this enclosure include sand, rocks, water, and oxygen. The feeding routine at this enclosure is clams, fish eggs, fat innerkeper worms, crabs, and fishes. The leopard shark has a parasitic relationship to copeds that often live on their skin. Reproduction. A mother leopard shark keeps her eggs inside her body until they hatch. After 10 to 12 months, she gives birth to a litter of about 7 to 36 pups, each about 7 inches long. A female leopard shark is usually about 10 years old when she has her first litter. After that, a female will generally mate every year. Food chains or food webs. A leopard shark is made to feed on the seafloor. Juvenile leopard sharks pluck up crabs, clams, siphons, fish eggs, and the burrowing, the hot dog-shaped fat innerkeper worms. As a leopard shark gets older, it starts eating more fish and fewer crabs. Leopard sharks have been found with smoothhound sharks, bat rays, and even octopuses in their stomachs. The life expectancy in this enclosure is unknown. Overall animal conditions are good. Small leopard sharks are kept in the slow exhibit. As they grow, they are moved up to the wave pool of the aviary exhibit, and when they are near full size, they go into the deep reef exhibit, allowing their enclosure to grow with them. In conclusion, our aquarium is doing a great job of taking care of our leopard shark, and our leopard shark is thriving. On a daily basis, it is fed a healthy diet of clams, shrimp, crab, fish eggs, and fat innerkeper worms. As our leopard shark goes growing, its environment and diet grows with it too. It's very happy and healthy and doing well.